Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 673, and today's topic is the components of materials and methods in the thesis. So materials and methods is a very important section of the thesis, and this section should be checked by very experienced scholars, or we can say those who have got the experience of supervising PhD and master's thesis, because the materials and methods, mainly the methodology, whatever is given during your synopsis and proposal, you are supposed to use same methodology, and there should not be any diversion in methodology. This is very important, and only experienced people can understand whether you have some diversion, you have diversified from your approved methodology, materials and methods. And once there is diversion in your methodology and in your method of experimentation to lead to your objective and topic, your thesis is invalid. Legally, it is not acceptable, because diversion from your approved material and method is not allowed. Sometimes in some of the universities, it is postgraduate board. They are approving our proposal, what you are proposing. And in that proposal, whatever materials and methods are given, we should follow the same to meet your goal of fulfilling your objectives. And if in case there is any diversion, there is any change in your methodology, it should be approved by that committee, or you have to get the permission in written by your supervisor. And with that change, once you are presenting your thesis in front of your examiner, or even thesis-based seminar, you have to mention it, that whatever was approved in my proposal, there is diversion, and that diversion is already approved by board or by supervisor with written permission. So that's why it is very important. And here, materials and methods, they are written in one line, but they are different. Materials are different. Materials means what chemicals in chemistry, what chemicals, what reagents, and then glass apparatus, instrumentation you are going to use. And in chemistry, even you have to mention sampling, which is very important. For example, if you are collecting some plant material, it comes under material. So from which geographical location? Is it from Maiduguri, or from Abuja, or from Delhi? In which month? And how you have collected your sample? That is sampling. Means you have collected from some market, from some source, or directly you have gone there and you have collected the material. So all this sampling, collection of material, equipments, chemicals, reagents, they are all there to be used to carry out your research work, to meet your aim and objectives. That is what about your material. And once we are talking of methodology, here in the case of methodology, we have to discuss and we have to be very clear in experimentation, how, where and when you are going to use all your materials to do the research work. How means whether you are going to do extraction, testing, crystallization, all these things. Where? Is it that some instruments are not available in Maiduguri? So are you going to Abuja, or are you going to Ibadan or Lagos, even to other country because of your spectral studies? So all these things are important to mention and to discuss about the methodology. And then formatting. Formatting, every PG school and PG board, they have their school formatting. Your font size should be uniform, your line spacing should be uniform, and it should not be jumping here and there. And secondly, which is very important, sometimes the candidates who are doing PhD or masters, they commit this mistake. Once you are writing your proposal or your thesis, you have to be very careful in tense. For example, if you are submitting proposal, means it is your proposal, you are proposing, you will be underlined, means you will be doing, it is in future tense. So always whatever you are mentioning, your methodology and all these things, it should be in future tense. And once it is mentioned in thesis after the completion, once your final work is done, then it should be in past tense, that you have already done it. It is done. So if suppose such type of mistakes are there, then still you are mentioning the tense in future, that is in your thesis which is already done, it means you are careless. You are not very much alert mentally that no, you have done the work, it should be in past tense. And if you are mentioning past tense in your proposal, is also wrong, because still you have not done. You are going to propose, so it should be in future tense. Then proofreading. Proofreading is also very important for PhD students, means you read it yourself with experienced people and find out if there are some tense errors, spelling error, or any blunder mistakes. So it is by proofreading with experienced people we can minimize the error. And then statistical data and other things, they are mentioned. Is not that you are going to discuss complex statistics, just you are going to give some statistical data, what it is required in your thesis. So here I have already given point wise the components of materials and methods in the thesis. Once you are writing the thesis, number one, thesis is often rated as the most important section of the thesis. This is, the materials and methods, they are rated as the most important section of your thesis, because everything, methodology and materials are given. So on that basis you are going to meet your objectives. And this section is evaluated most carefully by experienced people. So evaluation of your methodology on methods and materials should be done by very experienced people. Others cannot evaluate, and I have already told you that divergent from your approved methodology. Number two, the methodology mentioned in the thesis has to be strictly followed carrying out the research. Any deviation must be by written permission by your supervisor. So if there is any deviations, any change in your methodology, what it was approved in your proposal, you must get the written permission legally, either by board, PG board, or by your supervisor. You cannot change the approved proposal methodology. there should not be any deviations what it was approved. It's serious issue for any thesis, and on that basis sometimes some of the examiners, they also call, please send along with thesis what it was approved, the proposal or synopsis. They also take it and they check it, cross check it, whether what it was approved by the board or by departmental PG board or faculty PG board or senate PG board, is it in line with that or not? And if it is changed, they will send the thesis back. That no, you go and get the permission from your supervisor and from your PG board. So that is very important issue for methodology. That without written permission, you are not supposed to deviate from your approved methodology. Number 3, materials and methods. Materials and methods, they are two different things, but they are written in one line. It is very common practice to mention in the same section materials and method, but they are different. So one is, what is materials? It implies all items such as glass apparatus, chemicals, reagents, equipments, and today it is computer and softwares. It should be mentioned in materials, all these things that you are going to use to carry out your research work to meet your objectives. Then methods. Method refers to how, when and where are you going to use these materials and carry out the research to fulfill your aim and objectives. I have already told you that you have to mention all the places from where you are doing the sampling or you are collecting your material, then again where you are going to do, whether it is geographical change is there, Maiduguri, Abuja or Lagos or Delhi or USA, because lot of things may not be available. Suppose if you want to do 3-dimensional spectroscopy NMR with 800 or 900 megahertz frequency. So 800, 900 megahertz frequency is not available in Asia and Africa. You have to go to Europe or America. Only then you will get very high frequency, and that is 800 or 900 megahertz. Most of our work we are doing with the frequency of 500, 600. When I did my PhD, it was in 1980s. It was only 60 megahertz, and now we are operating NMR at 800 to 900 megahertz, 3-dimensional. So in that case, you have to go to Europe or America. So you have to mention where and how you are going to do all these your methods you are applying. In methods, candidates should discuss in detail experimentation. So your method is mainly your experimentation. So in that methodology or method, your experimentation should be discussed in detail, and then so as to enable to readers to exactly understand the experiments. So once it is thoroughly discussed, the experimentation, your examiner or readers will understand the experiment very well. Number 4, please note that the methods are written in future tense in proposal and past tense in thesis, what you have already done. You have to be very careful about using the tense. Any mistake will reflect carelessness on your part, and once carelessness is there on your part where you are mixing with past and future tense, it will give very poor impression to reader and especially to your examiner who is going to examine your PhD thesis, that is external examiner. Number 5, formatting. Be consistent with font size and line spacing. Take care to be uniform in style of headings and subheading. Once you are writing heading and then you are writing subheading, heading and subwriting style should not be the same. There must be some difference, either italic or font size should be different, or bold, or some other style. So it should not be exactly same. Heading and subheading should be different in writing, and make sure that headings and subheading do not have same style of writing. So then number 7 is proofreading. Proofreading means you have to proofread your thesis, all sections, and make sure that your experimentation methodology is in line, is matching to your aim and objectives. And secondly, once you are using abbreviations, it should be standard, and abbreviation is not used when you are writing first time. First time if you are writing anything, it should be in full form, full name. For example, if you are writing a spectral study, that is nuclear magnetic resonance, so if first time you are writing, you should write nuclear magnetic resonance. Then second, third time in the thesis you can write NMR, standard abbreviation. And this is very important, because if from first moment you are writing abbreviation, so it will be difficult for examiner or even the reader to understand the meaning of that abbreviation. So it is a must to mention first time full name and not the abbreviation. So here number 6, proofreading. Proofread your proposal for any errors, ambiguity and disagreement with other section of proposal. Your outcome should match your aim and objectives, and please use standard abbreviations and write full form on their first use. That I have already very clearly told you. For example, if you are taking spectral studies like nuclear magnetic resonance, so first you write full form nuclear magnetic resonance, then you can put the abbreviation, that is your NMR. Also, do not abbreviate the same word differently. What abbreviation you are using here in page 40 or 30, the same abbreviation should be in page 60, 70 or 80. In that, if it is different, like N is small, R is capital, so it is not allowed. The same word should be there. It should not be different abbreviation throughout the writing of your thesis. Number 7, statistical analysis. In this section, the candidate could calculate various statistical volume. You know, statistical volume, statistical is a probability. For example, anything is 1000, you calculate, you take the random 10 and then you take the average, that will give the impression for whole 1000. So that volume, how it is statistically calculated, that you have to give the whole volume. This section of thesis will also help the researcher in deciding on which statistical tests are applicable, in the research work. So, materials, methods, abbreviations, proofreading, formatting, all I have already discussed in detail, and this same what I have discussed, I have given point wise for students or candidate who are involved. They can copy down. So with this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.